Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 5. Our group consists of 4 members, and today we would like to present on our investment portfolio. So, how did we come up with these stocks? Firstly, we aim to build a diversified portfolio, choosing companies from different sectors such as finance, consumer goods, and technology. This helps reduce overall portfolio risk by not relying only on one single industry or region. Secondly, we focus on moderate risk. While we include high growth stocks like Meta and Nvidia, we balance them with more stable dividend paying stocks like HSBC and FarmFresh. This way, we maintain a healthy mix of capital appreciation and income stability. We also apply fundamental analysis, looking into each company's financial performance, profit growth, dividend history, and competitive position. All four companies showed strong fundamentals and healthy outlooks. Lastly, we choose businesses that show clear signs of future readiness. Meta and Nvidia are leaders in AI and digital transformation. HSBC is investing in sustainability and Asia's growth. FarmFresh is expanding rapidly in the local market and beyond. So overall, our selection is based on a strategy that combines growth, stability, and long-term potential. Now, for the first stock, we choose to invest in HSBC UK since HSBC is one of the top 10 largest banks in the world, with it operating in more than 60 countries globally. Next, HSBC has a dividend yield up to 7.5%, which is said to be more than average dividend yield in the banking industry. HSBC also has a strong footprint in Asia, whereby it is expanding aggressively in Asia and is set to focus on expanding their wealth and asset management here. HSBC Bank UK is also proactive in doing sustainability practices. Besides investing in green finance, they also contributed 1 trillion for sustainable investments. For the next stock, we choose FarmFresh as it is one of the best and leading dairy producer in Malaysia. From our fundamental analysis, their net profit rose up to 27% in 2024 compared to the previous year. FarmFresh has been giving out dividends after its IPO, indicating that this company has strong cash flows, with its dividend policy stated to distribute 25% of its annual earnings as dividends. Third, we invest in Meta because Meta has a strong and dominant position in digital industry with apps like Facebook, Instagram, and Threads that have billions of daily active users. Meta also has announced 50 billion USD of share buyback, reflecting the company's confidence in its future prospects. Lastly, we choose Nvidia because it is one of the leaders in its industry with approximately 80% market control in AI chip market. Nvidia now is standing at second largest company with largest market share capitalization equivalent to 3.394 trillion. Nvidia also has strategic partnership with cloud companies like AWS, Google Cloud, and Microsoft Azure for its new AI product called Blackwell that is expected to launch in June 2025.
So, Assalamualaikum. My name is Afnan, and thank you, Brother Adam, for the full presentation. I'm going to be taking over on our portfolio about HSBC, Meta, NVIDIA, and FarmFresh. So let's begin with the daily cumulative return. As you can see around me are all the graphs that I'm going to be presenting today. So based on the graphs, NVIDIA clearly delivered the highest overall return, ending with a gain of over 20%. This was driven by strong investor sentiment in the AI sector and solid earnings performance. In contrast, FarmFresh recorded the lowest returns, dropping nearly 30% at one point. This underperformance may be attributed to weaker consumer confidence and volatility in the Malaysian food and beverage market. Furthermore, looking at the daily standard the standard deviation graph now, which measures risk or volatility, NVIDIA again stands out, but this time as the most volatile stock market with a standard deviation of about 4%. HSBC, on the other hand, showed lowest at around 1.5%, likely due to its stable performance as a large financial institution. So now let's take a look at the average daily return as shown in the bar chart. In March, none of the stocks performed particularly well. Meta had a negative average daily return of about negative 0.6%, and HSBC and Nvidia hovered slightly above zero. Only FarmFresh recorded a small positive return. In April, FarmFresh showed the highest average daily return of around 0.4%, while HSBC remained slightly negative. Meta and Nvidia, on the other hand, posted modest positive returns. In May, finally, performance significantly improved. Nvidia led with an impressive average daily return of around 1.2%, followed by Meta and about 0.8%. HSBC and FarmFresh also turned positive though with more moderate gains. So, this monthly trend illustrates NVIDIA's strong momentum and investor confidence in recent months, especially in May. And finally, and ultimately, the daily returns chart supports these findings. NVIDIA shows large fluctuations, including a sharp spike around mid-April, indicating both high reward and high risk. HSBC maintained relatively stable returns throughout, while Farm Fresh and Meta experienced several downtrends and recoveries. All in all, Nvidia brought the highest returns but also came with the highest risk, while HSBC was the most stable but offered lower gains. These findings emphasize the classic trade-off in investment between risk and return. So that's all. Let's see what the next presenter has to say.
Okay, thank you, Brother Afnan. Next, I will be presenting the next part of our presentation, which is on the correlation coefficient of our portfolio. Hence, this table, which is the matrix table, indicates the correlation between the four stocks that we have chose, which are for the first one, we have the HSBC. The second one, we have the Farm Fresh. Next one, we have the Meta. And last but not least, we have NVIDIA. Correlation values are from negative 100% to 100% to help understand the relationship of stocks in moving to one another. Okay, moving on to the next slide, which is I'll be talking on the explanation of the correlation coefficient of the portfolio. From the table, HSBC shows a lower percentage of positive correlation compared to the other stocks, which can be interpreted as a good for diversification, as stocks tend to move in the same direction. Furthermore, we can see that FarmFresh, Meta, and Nvidia are the companies that show a negative correlation, as the FarmFresh indicates a negative 7.13% correlation with Meta and negative 11.80% correlation with Nvidia, meaning that it can help in offsetting the tech sectors. Moreover, the companies like Meta and Nvidia show a high positive correlation, which is around 86.52%, which could indicate that the companies are strongly related and their price tend to move together. Therefore, overall, we have a mixed correlation between stocks, which is very good in making sure we can lower the risk of investing in the stocks. The inclusion of companies like HSBC and FarmFresh, which have a lower correlation, can help in diversifying the stocks that we have, uh, that have a high diversification, like Meta and also Nvidia. Okay, we will go to the next slide, which is on the comparison between the benchmark index and also portfolio to identify the performance of our portfolio with the benchmarks that we have selected according to the stocks. But before that, let me introduce the line, okay, that represent the our portfolios and also others stock. Okay, for the first line, which is the green line, it is actually represents the our portfolios for cumulative returns. The red line is representing the LSE's cumulative return. The yellow one is representing the galaxy's cumulative return. And lastly, we have the blue line, which is indicates the Nasdaq 100 cumulative return. Okay, to explain more about this benchmark comparison, the cumulative returns were used to identify the what we call as the growth of our investment from beginning on 3rd March 2025 until 30th May 2025. After 3 months investing our portfolio, we found out that our portfolio outperformed the Galaxy I performed similarly or slightly below the Nasdaq 100 and was comparable to LSEs over the same period. Okay, this actually shows that our portfolio performed well by the global and the regional benchmarks, and therefore we can conclude and also we can see that there is no doubt that our portfolio shows a competitive return with other benchmarks. It helps in making sure we can track what we call as the performance of our return with other benchmarks to ensure that we can make an effective and efficient decision for the future benefits. Next, I will be passing to the next presenter. Thank you very much.
So I'll be continuing the presentation on the portfolio shares, portfolio buy and sell, and also the statement of profit and loss. So as you can see at the price of the stock, there are up and down, as you can see at the table on the left. So the price during 30th May for HSBC is 873.2 cent, 120 cents, RM 1 ringgit and 88 for FarmFresh, 647.49 for Meta, 155.50 cents for Nvidia. So the number of unit we got 46 for HSBC, 149,700 for FarmFresh, 85 for Meta, and 448 for Nvidia. So to calculate, we convert the rate. We got the final conversion using using the 30th May price is the total is RM 1,09,250 ringgit 77 cents. Moving on to the portfolio buy, we have four of the trade value for these four stocks. And then Before buying stocks, we have to consider the fee of the stocks that may incur, which is broker fee, stamp duty, clearance fee, custodian fees, and also transaction fees. So how do we get that? We multiply trade value with the fee, and then we got the total cost of the stock for HSBC Bank, which is RM 1,375 ringgit and 35 cents, Firm Fresh RM 605 ringgit and 90 cents, Meta RM 1,236 and 67 cents, and also Nvidia RM 1,352 ringgit and 27 cents. Next, for the portfolio sale, we have the same procedure as before, which is portfolio buy. We need to consider the cost that may incur if we need to withdraw our stock. So we have total cost of the HSBC Bank, which is RM 170 ringgit, and RM 357 ringgit 83 cents for Farmfresh, 1,179.18 cents for Meta, and RM 1,219.48 cents for Nvidia. So we have a total sell plus buy, which is around 1,402.75 cents, around 933, 2,415, and 264 too. And then we have total transaction fees with 7,485 ringgit. Finally, we have the portfolio statement of profit and loss. So we have total portfolio value, which is RM 1,09,250 ringgit and 77 cents. We minus with the total transaction cost before, which is RM 7,485 ringgit and 9 cents. And then we have net value of RM 1,01,765 ringgit and 68 cents. And then we minus with our initial investment, which is RM 1 million. And then we have net profit, which is around 1,765 ringgit and 68 cents. So I think that's all for our group presentation. Thank you.